If you've ever stared at a kale salad and thought, can this green fluff really protect my brain? Well, science is increasingly nodding in enthusiastic agreement. In the high-stakes arena of aging gracefully, your diet may be doing more behind the scenes than just keeping your pants from rebelling against you. Emerging evidence suggests that your love, or at least tolerance, for leafy greens, legumes, berries, nuts, and extra virgin olive oil might be the secret sauce for staving off cognitive decline, even if you can't remember where you parked the car this morning. Over the last decade, researchers have pulled out their statistical magnifying glasses and peered deep into the eating habits of aging populations. Their favorite lab rats? Humans. Specifically, thousands of humans followed over years, sometimes decades, through population-based and longitudinal studies. These people didn't just check boxes on food frequency questionnaires, though they did a lot of that too. They aged, they forgot things, they remembered things, and they ate everything from tofu to Twinkies. And from this glorious mess of dietary data emerged some remarkably consistent patterns. Namely, plant-based diets, particularly those with structure and a scientific acronym, looking at you, mind, HBDI, PHDI, appear to offer real protection against age-related cognitive decline. Let's start with the MIND diet, short for Mediterranean-Intervention for Neurodegenerative Delay. A name that only a committee could love. It's basically a greatest hits compilation of brain-healthy eating. Dark leafy greens, nuts, berries, blueberries are the Beyoncé here. Whole grains, olive oil, and the occasional glass of wine. Studies like the Rush Memory and Aging Project found that people who stuck closely to the MIND diet slashed their risk of Alzheimer's disease by more than 50%, and even moderate adherence came with significant benefits. In other words, even if you occasionally wander into a donut shop, your brain might still be safe as long as you're mostly friends with spinach. Then there's the Healthful Plant-Based Diet Index, HPDI, a scoring system that doesn't just reward plants, it separates the nutritional saints from the sinners. Whole, minimally processed plants get a gold star. Refined grains and sugary fruit juices? Not so much. Large cohort studies, like the Nurses' Health Study and Health Professionals' Follow-Up Study, showed that high HPDI scores were associated with lower risks of not just dementia, but also cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, and even all-cause mortality. Basically, if you eat like you're shopping the perimeter of a grocery store and ignoring the seductive call of the snack aisle, your neurons may thank you. The Planetary Health Diet Index, PHDI, brings an environmental twist to the conversation, because what's good for your brain might also be good for the planet. This diet emphasizes sustainability along with nutritional quality, encouraging a variety of plant-based foods while minimizing animal products and ultra-processed fare. Although it's a newer framework, early studies suggest the PHDI is also linked to reduced chronic disease risk and improved cognitive outcomes, perhaps because what's gentle on the earth tends to be kind to our inner ecosystems as well. Bonus: eating like this lets you feel both morally superior and mentally sharper. Of course, skeptics might grumble, but correlation isn't causation. And they'd be right, mostly. These are observational studies, after all. But the associations are robust, consistent across populations, and biologically plausible. Mechanistically, plant-forward diets reduce inflammation and oxidative stress, boost vascular health, and enrich the gut microbiome. All factors that directly affect brain function and longevity. Imagine your brain as a high-maintenance celebrity. It demands a clean environment, lots of antioxidants, and VIP blood flow. Feed it saturated fats and added sugars, and it starts throwing tantrums. Feed it plants, and it just might let you remember your grandchildren's names well into your 90s. What's especially encouraging about all this research is that these protective effects aren't exclusive to vegan zealots or people who've never looked a cheeseburger in the eye. Even partial adherence to a plant-based pattern seems to offer benefits. In fact, the MIND diet allows for modest amounts of fish and poultry and even red meat in moderation, as long as you don't try to pass bacon off as a vegetable. So yes, you can still be a flexitarian with a flexible memory. There's also an empowering public health message here. Cognitive decline is not an inevitable part of aging. It's heavily influenced by modifiable factors, with diet being one of the biggest. And unlike some aspects of modern medicine, eating more plants is relatively cheap, low risk, and delicious if you know your way around a spice rack. Seriously, try roasted chickpeas with smoked paprika and try to be sad. In policy terms, these findings should raise some eyebrows in boardrooms and government offices. With dementia rates rising and treatment options still limited, prevention is the best and possibly only affordable path forward. Promoting plant-based diets through school programs, healthcare systems, and senior centers isn't just good for individuals. It could relieve pressure on healthcare budgets and improve quality of life at scale. So, to recap, that spinach salad you're reluctantly chewing through? It's not just rabbit food. It's brain armor. The berries you blend into your smoothie? Tiny time machines for your neurons. And those nuts you snack on during your Netflix binges? They're your brain's version of premium fuel. Turns out, aging doesn't have to mean forgetting your keys, your kids' birthdays, or why you walked into a room. It might just mean remembering that your best years still lie ahead, as long as your plate is mostly green. And if you're still not convinced, here's one last nugget. In almost every study, those with plant-heavy diets also reported better moods, more energy, and improved sleep. So even if the science didn't prove anything, it does. The placebo effect of believing you're eating for your brain might still make you feel amazing. Honestly, that's a win either way.